What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining the Cabrini Kid podcast. This is episode number 42. We've crossed over into the 40s. My name is David Haywood. I'm your host, the Cabrini Kid himself, the champ. To my left, I have Mr. Perkins to you on Instagram, where you can find him. Right there, there's his handle. Wait, this way. There it is. And then joining us today, first time guest, we have Miss Patricia. Is it Vitti?
Vittini.
Vittiti.
Vittini.
Okay. Oh, Vittini. Okay, we have Miss Patricia Vittini joining us on the show today. Everybody give her a warm welcome and thank you for taking the time to hang out with us today. How you been? How's your week?
It's been good. Busy but good. Yeah.
We'll take that. We will take that. So obviously it's just me and KP. So hopefully, you can provide us with a woman's perspective on some things. We have our first chat from Mr. Felix himself. Let's get it. Checking in the first. Let's go. Let's go. All right. So we got an interesting post this week. Let me go ahead and share it. Felix said, "I'm almost home. Make sure she's drinking some wine."
How you know? How you knew, Felix?
He know you well. He know you well. Okay, so it says, ladies, keep it real. For once, keep it all the way real and transparent. In general, why do you have less of an attraction to the men that clearly like you and are ready to treat you the way that you claim you want to be treated? Why is that man less attractive to you?
Honestly, it all depends, right? I honestly feel like if he's not showing up, then yeah, I would definitely like not be attracted to him. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess I like men who shows up, right? Who are consistent.
Mhm.
Um, even though I guess there are ways that guys show they're interested in you. It can be either through consistency or action. It depends, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, from my situation, from my experience, when I know like a guy is attracted to me, if he's not showing up, then it's not gonna be like it's not gonna be mutual, you know. So yeah.
Do you feel like some of it is because the men who are interested in you, right? Um, and they're actively showing you that they're interested. Is it that they're making it too easy,
Um,
whereas the other men make you work for it a little bit? So now you're invested in the attraction because you're working for that attention and that attraction. Whereas the guy who's like, I'll do everything from day one, you're like, that's not as attractive because you didn't have to work for it. He gave it to you on the first day.
you know, if the guy's desperate, I'm not gonna like. It's not gonna be. If you acting desperate, It's not gonna be mutual. I'm just not gonna pay attention to you at all. Like
So,
it's
so,
like
but where's the line between desperate and interested?
I mean, every guy's different. Some guys are desperate in the beginning, and other guys make it a little difficult. Not too much, but just like I guess they play a little hard to get, and I like that. I like that to a certain extent. To a certain extent, don't play too hard to get. Like,
Felix said, Felix says y'all be saying the word consistent too loosely. What does that mean? What does consistent mean?
To me, from a woman's perspective, like, it doesn't have to be every day, but texting me good morning, here and there, checking in, that's consistent. Seeing each other at least once a week, depending where we are in the dating phase. If it's like new, once a week is okay. But then like after that, then we will have the conversation like, all right, I want to see you more than once a week, So it depends.
Monica says, yep, she's agreeing with you. She posted that when you said don't make it too easy.
Yeah.
Felix said that's why conceited guys be winning.
I don't know about that, Felix. I don't know. I think you're showing off. Like I said, it all depends.
Do you feel like if you have an idea of how you want to be treated, and that fell right in your lap, do you think that you would know what to do with that person?
Oh, absolutely. Because I know what I want.
Have you ever had it? So you've never had it. You know what you want, but you've never had it. But you feel like you know what to do when you got it.
Right, because I've been searching, right? Mm-hmm. I've been single for a very long time, so I've been searching. I know what I want, so I guess if it lands on my lap and I knew, if it lands on my lap and I know this is exactly what I want, I'm gonna go for it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole list. I don't know if guys do that, but women, I have like a whole list of things that I wanted to serve.
Okay, I get it. Well, Monica says, speaking for myself.
Right. I mean, everyone is different, So every situation is different.
KP, do you feel like you've ever been in a position where you felt like a woman was trying to fit you into a mold, that like an idea of a man that she already had and was trying to fit you into that mold?
Yeah, I mean, I think that happens to me all the time. I feel like like the women think that, or some women out there think that like I'm this playboy or player, and so once that cat has been in that bag, it's like shit, like this is crazy. I captured the person who couldn't be caught, which that don't happen very often. But
why
why is that? What?
Yeah, why? You just said why is that? You can't say, you said something why you can't catch that often. Like, why is that?
Well, yeah, I mean, because just like in this day and age, like women don't want a man to think that he is also the prize. A lot of women nowadays, I won't generalize, but if you look online or if you look, where I live, the woman, they want to be the prize and only the prize, which I think the woman is the prize. Also, I think the man is the prize as well. I think that a man should be treated as if he can't be lost, just like the woman should be treated as if she can't be lost. But somewhere it gets lost in translation that it's either that way, or if a man feels that way, then he has feminine energy, or he is zesty, or he is weak, because a man wants to be treated with the same respect that they want to be treated with. So You know, so that's why for me, I won't stand for anything less on a consistent basis. It has to be sustainable. So I'm okay with, if you've watched this podcast before, I'm okay with the dipping and dabbing, if you get my drift, until I find until you know, all the boxes don't have to be checked, you know, but I won't stand for being treated for anything less than how I feel like I should be treated, which is the true king that I am. So if that's not reciprocated, then some people fall to that other side. That other side is, it is what it is. And most women don't. Some women appreciate that, some women don't. But everyone starts off in my history, because people seem to don't think so. Everyone starts off at the same starting line. Where it veers off to, it is what it is. It just happens. Sometimes it veers off to, you know, this person is dating. I'm going to date this person. I'm going to see where things go. Cool. I'm cool with that. But it's got to be mutual. It's got to be mutual. So, in regards to that in regards to that meme or that picture, I think that there are a ton of women out there who pass up on good men and then get played by that dude who they like went after. And honestly, I love when that happens. I absolutely love it. I love when I try to holler at a girl and she's like, no. And then I see her posting another dude. I'm like, okay. She got the Keinon curse. I've talked about it on the pod before. There is a such thing as a Keinon curse. So eventually, her and the dude will probably talk. He'll get what he wants. And then eventually, a month or two later, she'll be posting memes. I wish they had more time to spend with me when I'm that woman. Then another post, I'm that bee. And then another post. And I'll just be sitting back, oh, it must be over.
that must be dead now.
Must be dead.
A lot of women self-sabotage. All right. I'm one of them. All right. When we feel like it's too good to be true, for some reason we self-sabotage. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. And I know I'm not the only one that have done that before.
But that's why I said, if you got what exactly you were looking for, if you got exactly what you were looking for, would you know what to do with it, right? It's like somebody who says, oh man, I really want to win the lottery. And then you win the lottery and you don't know what the first thing is to do. Of course, you're going to go out and blow the money. Of course, you're going to go blow the money.
I mean, it depends. If you notice that you self-sabotage like twice, then you know the third time, and when it lands on your lap, you know what to do with it. Because you learn your lesson, you know?
Jojo said that men do that often.
Do what often?
Try to fit women into the mold of what they want their ideal woman to be. So people want you to fit their box, not accepting people who they are as they are.
I mean, I agree, Jordan. I agree, but then again, I don't. But I agree.
I would say where I disagree with that is I don't think that people, and this is just, me speaking from my personal experience and seeing other people's experience. I don't think that.
Hey, wait, hold on, David. Hey, We haven't heard from Jordan in a while. It's been about a month, right? I just sorry to interrupt you.
Jordan Hand's been busy.
Yeah. Sorry. I just
Jordan Hand's been busy.
I just want to throw some shade out there for my girl. But anyway, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I would say where I disagree with that is I don't think that people, more specifically men, try to fit women into a mold. I think men specifically go out and look for what they want. I think the flip side of that is women date to see potential, right? I think men date you for how you are today, and women date you for what you could be shortly.
Or maybe what we have already in our mind.
Yeah, they're like, I want him to be a 6-figure man with a 6-pack, 6 feet tall, with a beard, and some tattoos, and drive a muscle car. In her mind, I can get him there. He's not what I want right now, but I can get him to that point. Guys aren't like that because we're gonna go out and find that girl that 10-year down the road girl that we're envisioning now.
Listen, I'm not here to change your man. You have to come prepared. You have to come prepared. You have to come set. You have to be, financially stable. I don't care if you're tall or not. You just smart and have your things together. That's it. I'm not here to change you. I'm not here to change you, and I don't want you to change me either. So,
hey, real quick, I want to send a shout out to Shy. I want to send a shout out to my girl Carolyn, First Lady. Appreciate y'all for hopping on.
Big shout out to everybody hopping in the chat tonight. Felix said, but you don't even have a flat stomach and asking for all of that.
Listen, all you need is a pretty face. That's all you need. Forget the flat stomach.
I mean, not to get you in the game.
We're gonna get old, all right?
No, she doesn't have to have a flat stomach, but
no.
But
at least
she got to be working. She's got to at least work out. She can't work out without a flat stomach, or I mean, she can't work out with So
she can't not work out
then y'all talk about we want a guy who's 6 feet who makes 6 figures, but then y'all want flat stomach. We can't.
Okay, but you can do something about that. You can't do nothing about the height.
We gotta work something out. You want a flat stomach?
No, I didn't. No, the girl doesn't have to have a flat stomach. She doesn't. No, she doesn't have to have a flat stomach. But what I'm saying is, for me personally, she would at least have to work out. No, if she doesn't work out, then I mean, you got to be active.
Shy says, "I love the pudge."
Hey.
Every woman love it till they get mad at you. Then you a fat bastard. You lazy. But she 2 days ago she loved it. Was squeezing on your love handles and
yeah, they call you everything when they mad at you.
Jojo said KP need either a fat ass or a big rack. I mean, I feel like that's every dude.
No, so in my personal opinion, a woman, if she doesn't have a nice rack or a nice ass, if she doesn't have either, you have to be gorgeous. In your own way, of course, because every woman is gorgeous in your own way. But you have to be just absolutely gorgeous, in my opinion. Because every woman has a little bit of something, but if you don't, you see most women who don't, they're normally super attractive, or they're very attractive. But me personally, I mean, it don't matter to me. I'll take one of the three, but I mean, if you don't got none of the three, then I guess your personality game better be strong.
Shy said, agreed. It is what it is.
I mean, listen, if you connect with someone, then that's it.
I mean, and I agree with that because at the end of the day, we all gonna be old. We all gonna be wrinkled.
Right.
Like, it's nice to enjoy now, but none of us gonna look like this in 30 years.
Man, speak for yourself, man. I'm gonna still be flawed. Still be flawed, Patricia. You feel me?
Felix said none of the three. She needs to sit down.
Yeah, Felix, you might be right, my guy. You might be right, Felix.
What if she doesn't have any of the three, but she's a great person? Like, what if she doesn't have any of the three? And I'm not saying like she's ugly, but 3 or 4, right? But she's a great person. She makes you laugh. Y'all have a great time hanging out. She has all the other, the other, tangibles on her end.
And we got to put that Gary quote up too, whoever that is. Gary, I like that question, Gary.
Wait, hold on. Let me see. Gary said, what qualities do you value in a relationship that go beyond the idea of one partner being a prize? What qualities do you value in a relationship that go beyond the idea of one person being a prize?
Well, I don't think that one person should be the prize. I think both people should be the prize.
Y'all both can't be the prize.
Why?
Right. Why?
It can't have 2 first places.
You could cross at the same time.
Nah, that's the tie.
I mean, it's a part.
Exactly.
They're walking together, so why not? Why not end the line? Why not end the finish line together?
Because I feel like that's not realistic.
See,
I feel like somebody has to have. I don't like saying the upper hand, but somebody has to be in the lead, right? Like, how often do you see a relationship where both people are 10s on the aesthetic side, right? Never, or hardly ever, because one person is usually more attractive than the other person, right? If you say, how many times are 2 people in a relationship where both people are making $200,000 a year? Probably not often. One person's making 200. The other person might be making 75. So I think it sounds nice to say, oh, I think both of us should be the prize. It sounds nice to say that, but in actual practice, it's never going to work out that way. Even if you as the guy say, I'm going to take the back seat and I'm going to let her be the prize, that's still her being the prize.
So from a guy's perspective, basically the woman is the prize, right? Like if you're in a relationship with a woman, she is the prize, correct?
I think that
Curious.
I would say yeah. I would say yes on that.
All right.
What was her question?
She said, if you're in a relationship, do you think the woman should be the prize? And you already said yeah. Yeah, I agree with that.
So what qualities, right? What qualities? Respect, first and foremost.
So yeah, I think respect, I think loyalty, I think reciprocation,
trust.
I think trust, I think a undying, like, for me personally, I'm super unconditional when it comes to someone that I'm truly down for. So when I say unconditional, that means I'm in it to the end, wrong, right, indifferent. I'm in there. Even if we stop talking and hopefully we come back to talking, I'm still there. Now, not everyone feels that same way. So I think there's a lot of qualities that, when it comes to the quote unquote prize topic, I think there's a lot of intangibles or qualities that Gary may be speaking of that can both be balanced out on both sides, not thinking about or not really taking into consideration the financial portion or the physical portion of it. I truly do think that both people, if in conjunction with one another, are on the same page, can both be the prize. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that.
Damn, I'm good, boy.
I really do. I really do. That's how I approach relationship. I want to make sure that we both are on the same page, because if we're not, where is this going? You know? So that's just the way I approach things.
Jojo said, I don't think it's prize meaning which is better. I think it's that a prize can be two people at the same time giving the same energy towards the same goal of being each other.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
That's not what a prize is. That's not what a prize is.
Right.
That's not what a prize is. A prize is like on the pedestal.
Right.
So who in the relationship is on the pedestal? Because there's not room for both of us to be on the pedestal.
But why though?
But why can't we give each other some chances? Like, today I'll be on a pedestal, and then tomorrow I'll put you on a pedestal. You know?
But I think that goes back towards the intangibles that Gary was talking about, right? Like
respect.
Right. So like one thing I got into this back and forth this week on Facebook. I saw a post, a young lady posted. It says something to the effect of your man should let you. It basically was saying your man should let you. You should wear what you want without your man feeling insecure about what you're wearing. And I commented, I agree with that. But as the woman, you should not put your man in a position where now every time that he go out the house, that's a concern of his, of how you're projecting yourself. And now every time he go out the house, he got to be on edge because now he may have to fight somebody. He can't let you go to the bathroom by yourself. Because like, that's not saying you can't wear what you want to wear, because you can. But your level of respect for your partner says, I'm not going to wear that because I don't want to put him in that position.
Wait a minute. So if you met her that way, why would that change? Just curious.
Oh, I mean, if you met her and that's what she was wearing, then that's what you expect.
Right.
That's what you expect.
Right.
You sign up for it at that point.
Exactly.
But if you didn't meet her like that, and we're talking honestly, one of two locations, either at the club or you didn't meet her walking down the street wearing that. So there's only one of two or three maybe possible places you could have met her where she was wearing that, and then we get it, right? But if you didn't meet her like that, and one time she decides, I bought this, I'm gonna wear this, I'm gonna pop out and wear in this, and I don't care, and my man should let me wear it, because if he doesn't, that means he's insecure. I think the flip side of that is, why would you put him in that position?
Right, that's a little selfish. Because what if he says, like, I want to go out just like this, and you don't like, and I don't like it? Then, I like to put myself in people's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's logical to do, right? Because I'm not going to be like, well, I'm going to wear this because it feels good. You can't tell me what to do. But yet, if you wear that and then I feel some type of way, I might say something. So, instead of like, I'm going to try to avoid that. So how we are going to avoid that? Let's not go there. Right? And that's it.
Kadriana checking in. She said, but one could be a 10 in looks, but not have a lot going on intellectually. And the other could be a 4, but smart as hell. It balances out. I think they both could be the prize, just like they both could be duds. Shy says, I believe in balance. She could be the prize if she's respectful and loyal. If she is that and brings peace, that's a prize. If we're thinking long-term for life. Let me see.
I think balance is important. I really do. So, Communication.
Right. Kadriana says making one person a prize is an unhealthy approach to a relationship.
And Kadriana is the one who wants to be the prize.
She want to be the prize.
Make that make sense, Kadriana.
But don't want a man to tell her she the prize because it's not healthy.
That's crazy. She's
Jay, my sister-in-law checking in. What's up, Jay? She said it's about respect. Let's see who else.
Jay.
Shay said, if you met her that way, then you become official. Then she shouldn't dress like she has no man. Now, there's something that we could definitely touch on. You are a certain way when you're single, and some of the things you may have to what's a good word?
Pivot.
Some things you may have to pivot on in a relationship. There's some stuff in your closet that single Patricia would love to wear on a Saturday night.
Well, it depends. If I'm with my girls, it depends. It's not like I'm showing too much. I like showing my curves. That's it. I don't need to show my boobs or anything like that. I like to show curves, So, yeah, for the most part, sometimes, not all the times.
Liking pictures.
I don't know about that one.
I don't dress half naked to go out. I like to show my curves. That's it.
Gary said, how long do you think is a good amount of time to date before defining it as a relationship?
According to some people on this podcast, you can fall in love.
10 hours? 10 hours?
To some people who've been on this podcast, Gary, you can fall in love in 6 hours. You can fall in love with someone in a month. Me personally, I don't think you truly get to know someone until at least 6 months in. So with that being said, I would say for me personally, 6 to 8. Now, within that 6 months, I would be only, intimate with that person. So like, if that's something like if somebody's out there is like, oh my God, he wouldn't call somebody his girlfriend until 8 months. Well, granted, that's kind of exclusive. We are the only two people that are sleeping together, then I guess, but I would say 6 to 8 months until like I could say like that's my girlfriend. 6 to 8 months minimum. But again, like you see in the chat, Gary, there's people that's fell in love and who said this person's gonna be my boyfriend in 3 hours after a soup trip.
So you wouldn't call a girl your girlfriend for at least 6 to 8 months?
That's a long time.
No.
That's a long time.
She gonna for sure lose interest by that point.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is what they don't think about. Like women are a time too. Like 5 months for me is like a cap. Like after 5 months, like if this is not a relationship, what are we doing? But 6 to 8 months, that's a long time.
What's the difference?
Kadriana says I am. I'm assuming she's responding to she wants to be the prize. She's saying I am the prize.
Yeah. What's the difference between 5 and 6 months?
The difference is 5 months. It's a good amount of time to actually know someone from my perspective. Like,
well, 6 months. What's another 30 days? I'm sure you've held out a sex for somebody for 30 days, haven't you? Yeah.
Longer than that. But that's not the point. I guess but no, literally, but seriously, like at the end of the day, like guys actually decide whether they want to be in a relationship or not. So
right. Men provide access to relationships. Right. Women provide access to sex.
Right. That's what I hear, but yeah.
She said that's what I hear. That's irrefutable.
Oh, wait a minute. Also, men say that after like about 3 months, if there's no relationship, then we need to dip. So I don't know. Maybe people are giving out the wrong information out there. I don't know. Or maybe the guy I'm dating, we just need to I just need to go with his flow. I don't know.
I think it obviously different strokes for different folks, right?
Oh no, Jordan, please.
What'd she say?
We don't want to hear that stupid shit again.
Hillary said 5 and in and out. 5 months and get her some in and out.
5 hours is what she meant.
Oh.
You see, I'm not the one. I know I'm not the only one.
No, she fell in love with someone in 5 hours. And he took her in and out, and she fell in love in 5 hours.
Oh, no.
Jojo said that's insane. 8 months over the age of 30 is crazy work.
Thank you, Jojo. Thank you.
He said nah.
If we're 25, that's different. But I'm 41 years old. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
What are you doing? You're getting to know someone, aren't you?
Exactly. We are getting to know each other.
3 months? Nah, man, that guy could be a killer in 3 months. That's crazy, First Lady. That's crazy.
No,
you don't even have.
As a woman, I think 5 months. Okay, granted, 6 months. I think it's like good enough time to know whether you want to be with someone. 6 months is a good enough time.
So So you're just killing me.
Carolyn said over if he don't make it official after 3 months minimum.
You see?
Okay, so we'll just use Carolyn's 3-month rule, right? So let me ask you this: if you have Patricia, I don't know if you do or not, but if you have a kid, how long does it take for you to introduce that man to your kid?
Well, my daughter's 17. She'll be 18 the end of the year.
Okay, still.
So if I'm in a relationship, then yes, I will introduce her.
Well, okay. So hold it right there. So when do you feel? So you're saying within 3 months you should be in a relationship like with this person?
Okay, so if I feel like we're working towards relationship and it's getting serious, like I feel like, all right, I feel like you might be the one. Okay, then yeah, I will introduce you to my daughter, right?
Okay, hold on. Let me interrupt you. Do you think that person can be the one after 3 months? Is what I'm asking.
I mean, if we're both working towards a relationship and it feels genuine and it feels like
so how do you know within 3 months? How do you truly know?
All you doing is going off the feeling.
Right. I'm going off emotional feelings. Exactly.
Right. So if it's going to take, we'll just say a minimum of 3 months for this person to meet your child, you're killing me for saying 6 months. What's 3 more months to truly get to know this person before he meets your kid?
But that's not organic, though. I feel like that's not organic.
What's not organic?
Waiting 6 to 8 months to be in a committed relationship with somebody.
Right.
How's it not? What you mean? How is not organic?
Because if you're seeing that person once a month, yeah, it could take 6 to 8 months. If you're seeing that person 2 to 3 times, maybe 4 times a week, you're going to be having those feelings before 3 months.
Yeah.
So if you say, well, I feel that way now, but I got to put a pause on you for another 3 months to see if you act crazy, she can act crazy on you in 2 years.
Facts.
So why would you rather know now? Or
she can act crazy
2 years.
She can act crazy on you at any point. But I truly think if you and this is just me. And I know people think I'm probably gonna be pardoned when I say this because it sounds like some crazy shit. But I truly want to, if in whatever next relationship I have, I truly want to build a foundation with someone in the matter of friendship. I want this person to be my ride or die, my right hand, so on and so forth. I personally don't think that you can build what I want within 6 months or within 3 to 4 to 5 months.
Terry, you got Terry checking in. Brand new dad.
I mean,
Hey, congratulations, Terry.
New dad alert. Terry said 98% of women ain't letting you wait 6 months. They're like, this nigga ain't ready or he got hoes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Now,
No, like, what if you just trying to have one hoe and that's her?
If you communicate and tell me, listen, this is the time that I need to really get to know someone, and we talk about it, we spoke about it, then okay, I will give you grace. Like, all right, cool, we're gonna get to know each other. But if we don't talk about it, and I'm thinking, all right, we already been talking for like 5 months, and there's no relationship, then you don't want a relationship. That's just the way I'm thinking about it. You don't want a relationship.
Now, again, of course, I would communicate that within that would be a conversation.
Guys don't talk.
I'm a communicator, so
that's good.
I would definitely say, tell her.
I think Shy just called you a narcissist. Jojo said KP need therapy.
Hey, I don't think I need therapy. Well, maybe I do, but at least I'm gonna get to know someone and not fly off the handle when.
Gary said consistency.
Right? You know, I mean,
but then why? But if you're saying I need to see how you act every day for 6 months.
Thank you, Shy. He wasn't calling me a narcissist.
She said, KP is right. Narcissists can wait longer than 6 months to show you their true face.
I don't believe that.
Right. So then why cut it off at 6 months? Why not say
within a month they will show you? Because I had that experience before. Years ago, I remember I was talking to some guy and I told him something. He yelled at me, literally. I'm like, what in the? Oh hell no! You're getting blocked. So yeah, you within a month, you will know. Yeah.
Oh, you will know what?
If he's a narcissist, if he's yeah.
No.
Terry said, I ain't gonna lie, in 6 months, I love the woman already with how I am. Shit, I was all hooked on my fiance in less than 3 weeks. Yeah, Terry was fresh on the streets and back booed up. Immediately.
Well, hey, to each his own.
Jojo said, KP be like that meme. I got a lot going on with a monthly car payment and a full-time job, and my cat needs food and water daily. It's just not the right time.
Well, first of all, I definitely wouldn't have a cat.
Funny. You are funny.
Definitely would not have a cat.
He said, I definitely would not have a cat.
Dudes with cats are different. No, but I truly do feel as if that, like I said, like that's me personally. It's not like a cutoff. Is it possible that I have really liked someone in a couple months? Yeah, I'm not saying that I haven't.
But you stopped yourself from progressing.
No, we just didn't make it official, and it was like after. It wasn't a specific timeline. It was just after X amount of time. So it's not like I'm saying I'm waiting 6 months to date someone and to make it official. What I'm saying is I personally don't think that you get to truly know someone to call them your girlfriend within 6 months. That's just me personally. I just don't feel like, and I want to be able to know my person, regardless if in 7 months she goes crazy or not. And in 3 months she could go crazy. You're getting to know your partner is every day. You're getting to know your partner every single day.
Right. Consistency.
But I'm just not one to jump into something and then next thing you know, 3 or 4 months later, I'm dating someone else. Or then 4 or 5 months later, I'm dating someone else and I'm in love again. In 4 or 5 months, I'm dating someone else and love someone else. We all know those kind of people who are serial daters and they just keep going from girl to girl or dude to dude to dude, getting their heart broken, slapped over the head, getting beat over the head. The heart is just like, and then they come back and say, well, at least I tried to find love. Yeah, but how much pain have you gone through?
Right, but
questions.
But I feel like the flip side of that is if we're just going off of what we see that person displaying on social media, in and out of relationships. The flip side of that is the person who's never in a relationship, which is probably just as big of a red flag, because girls are gonna look and be like, I ain't never seen this dude post a girl. I've been friends with him for 10 years on social media. He's never posted a woman. I feel like a lot of women will look at that and say that's a red flag too. Now they may still be like, well, at least I know he not putting women out there. That don't mean he not doing what he's doing behind the scenes. But I have had this exact same conversation with a former guest of the show who met a male acquaintance of mine, and she said, you know, what do you know about him? I said, I don't really know him that well, but he cool. And she said, I don't ever see him post any women. He's never on a date. He never having date night. He never going out with nobody. He's never in a relationship. He don't have no exes to speak of. And she was like, that's a red flag too. And I said, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's player. He probably lived with his mom or something. I don't know.
I don't agree with that.
I mean, if you're 40 years old and you never had a relationship before, never.
Whoa,
you're a player, and you
not never.
That's crazy.
All right.
That's crazy talk.
I mean, if you're talking about teenage years, that still don't count. But what I'm trying to say is, that as an adult, if you have no relationship, then you're a player. That's it. That's the way I would see it.
Shai said, if you don't post your girl and your girl don't post you, then that ain't your girl or guy.
That's facts. That's facts. I don't agree with what you said, David. I don't agree. I think that you don't. I don't know. I mean, I don't know very many dudes that post them going on too many date nights, maybe here and there, but I don't see very many dudes in general doing that. Regardless if they have a girl or a wife, their wife may do it, but I don't see very many dudes doing that. So I don't personally think. I agree with you that some women may think that if a man is single at a certain age, that may be a red flag. Yeah, I agree with you on that. But on the flip side, you know, I don't think a man has to post a female or post different females or post him going out on dates with females to prove that he A, can get females, B, is dating females, or C, has a girlfriend. Maybe that person is private and they just don't indulge in that kind of posting.
No, I'm not saying they're posting it for like the accolades of like, oh man, all the girls that he goes out with are hot. Like, I'm not saying it in that aspect. It's more of, and I'm saying this because I've had these conversations with women, not necessarily women that I was dating, but conversations I've had with women about dating. Will say something to the effect of, you know, or something in the same vein of, if I don't ever see, if you and I are friends on, like Patricia, me and you are friends on social media, and we've been friends on social media for 10 years and I've never seen you post a dude, that gives an impression as well, right? And the flip side of that, you might be like, David, we've been friends on social media for 10 years. I've never seen you post a woman. From the women that I've talked to about this same thing, they've said in their mind, they're thinking, what's wrong with you that you haven't found somebody in 10 years to make you commit. Because every woman that you've gone on a date with are all different. So if you've gone on a date in the last 10 years, if you've gone on 100 dates in the last 10 years, they've all been the wrong choice. Then that still means there's something wrong with you. I'm not saying you, KP, personally, but I'm saying the women that I've talked to about this have said when they see that, they're like, there's that kind of gets their senses going up. Same thing about and I don't know if you guys have seen this, but they've said the same thing about men over a certain age who don't have children, right? If you're 40 some years old and you don't have a child, it gives two different perceptions. A, you haven't found someone who you wanted to create a life with, or B, no one that you've met wanted to create a life with you, so what's wrong with you? And so there's always two ways I feel like to look at a situation. I've heard it from both sides. When I was younger in my 20s, every time I went out and I had a diverse group of friends where it was guys and girls. And I used to always like all the girls be like, Dave, let's take a picture now. We take a picture and I'll put it up on Facebook. And I had a girl tell me one time, she was like, if you keep posting pictures of you with these girls, when you meet a girl that you really like, she's going to see that. And she's going to form an opinion off that because that's what you chose to share. Right? The same thing can be said about the things that you choose not to share. So if you say, hey, my social media is what it is, you will never see a woman on my social media, a woman's going to look at that one of two ways. He's either very private and doesn't share his personal life, or he hasn't met anybody that he felt was worth sharing, and that in and of itself is going to leave an impression too. So, I mean, in one way, and there's like one is not more right than the other. I'm not saying you got to post every time you go on a date, post a girl that you're with. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is from women that I have had that conversation with, they've said like, yeah, like if a guy is never with a woman and I can look back through his social media and we can go back years, 2, 3 years, 4, 5, 6 years, and there's no women, he ain't going on vacation with nobody. He was never married. He was never engaged. He was never any of these things. They said that gives them an impression too, because they're looking at him like, why haven't you found somebody to share that with?
Or maybe he's living a double life.
Or he could be in witness protection.
He could be like having a whole double life, like, So, I mean, it all depends. It all depends. It depends how we look at it. A guy who's single for 10 years, no relationship. Maybe he was hurt one time. He's like, forget women. Like, I'm done with women. It could be that. It could be a lot of things.
Yeah.
But if I meet a guy, he has a lot of pictures of him and girls, like, I mean, I don't want to say a lot, but like a decent amount, like here and there, sporadic. Okay, he's very social. I mean, I would think he's very social. He's a likable guy. People like him. That's what I would think. So I guess it all depends on the woman's perspective. It all depends.
Shai said, the thing is, I think it's easier for a man at an older age to find a girl than it is for an older woman to find a man. So men can wait. I'm not trying to be mean either. No, I mean,
you don't have to apologize for nothing, Shai.
Right.
You're apologizing for my guy.
Talk your talk. No, I agree with that. I think, and I was having this conversation too earlier this week, that somebody had posted that women, they didn't believe that women lost value the older that they got. And I didn't say whether they did or they didn't, but I commented, I said, yeah, but men's better years in life are later in life. And, you can take that how you want to, but I think when you look at a man and he's like 40, 45 years old, now he's established, he got his career, he know what he wants out of life, he's headed in a certain direction. Now he can go out and find that mate that that is exactly what he's looking for. Which kind of goes to the argument that you look at women and say she spent 10 years in her 20s with the wrong dude.
It happens.
It happens. You know, she spent her 30s with the wrong dude, and now you're 40s back in the dating pool. It's changed. It's not going to be the same, you know? And so I definitely agree with Shy that, you know, there's two sides to that coin where, you know, you hear women say like, oh, I love a man with a salt and pepper beard. I don't know if you've ever heard a man say, I love a woman with salt and pepper hair. I want a silver fox. Where my silver? Like, you've never heard a man say that.
We like different things. Like, I don't know. I like muscular arms. Do you say you like women with muscular arms? No. It all depends. It all depends. Like, I like that. I'm sure JoJo could agree.
Don't listen. Trust me. Don't listen to Jordan. Don't listen to Jordan.
JoJo comes from a different cloth.
Yeah, she's
But
it's my girl though.
JoJo cool, always a friend of the show. All right, I'm gonna add another video. Let me play this video.
Struggling guy, you broke. But if you a struggling woman, you strong and independent.
Can y'all hear that?
Now, if a guy going on double dates and so forth, oh, he's cheating. Now, if a woman going double dates, oh, her options is just open. A lady break up with a man, oh, she deserved better. But when a man break up, oh, he wasted her time. Huh? When a guy is rude, he's toxic. But when a lady is rude, it's mood swings. Be a plus size guy, they're gonna call you fat, Biggie Smalls, all types of shit. Now, if you a plus size woman, oh, you just chubby, little chunks. Like, Woman set standards, oh, that's just preference. A man set standards, oh, he's a narcissist. What? Make it make sense. This is some delusional feminist. Like, I don't get it. Really feel for y'all men, because it's like.
So her video basically was about doubles, just very, very obvious double standards. Obvious double standards. When it comes to dating. And like we said earlier, Terry said hella double standards.
She's speaking facts, bro.
Facts. Like we said earlier, like, oh, you want a guy that's 6 feet with a 6-pack, make 6 figures. And then Felix said, yeah, but she don't have a flat stomach either. So How do you feel like, what do you feel like is the best way to, no, let me ask this question first. Do you think that you are aware of double standards that you have? And do you feel like you're more willing to compromise those double standards the older you get?
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. Like when I was younger, I had a specific agenda. Like, this is what I wanted. But as I got older, I'm like, wait a minute. Where is this going to lead me to? Like, where am I going to go with this agenda that I have? You know? So now it's like, you know, you don't need to be 6 feet tall. You don't need to make a lot of money. Do we get along? Do we have, you know, can we have conversations? You know? Do we get, you know, like, do we understand each other? Do we want the same things? You know, that's what I look for now, you know, as opposed to like before, you know. So absolutely.
But do you think that's because, and you say you're 41 now, do you feel like that's because 20-year-old Patricia could command those things where 41-year-old Patricia now has to make some accommodations? I
mean, to a certain extent, you know, I mean, being 20, you think you know what you want, but you don't. So I guess as I got older, it's like I don't mind compromising. I don't mind accommodating. Like, it's, you know, like I said, it's all about communication. It really is. So, you know, yeah, See that?
So it's like saying, at 20, would you have dated a man who didn't have a job?
Right. Right. Because at 20, I was living with my mom. So it definitely, times have changed. Now that I have a house, I'm like, do you have a house? Are you settled? Are you so it's like it's different, it's different.
Mhm.
Like I say, you think you know what you want at 20, but you really don't. So
KP, what about you? Do you feel like you have some double standards that you're aware of? And do you feel like the older you get, the more willing you are to compromise on those double standards?
I'm always willing to compromise in general. Like that's the thing. Like me personally, I mean, I mean, I don't know why I'm single. I mean, I love being single. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know why I'm single. I'm willing to always see the other side and compromise. I do think and believe in everything that young lady said on that video. And that's one reason why I think that, I'm single, because I haven't found someone who is willing to, as I said, compromise and reciprocate the things that I'm giving them.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. That's, if I could find someone who treats me the way that I treat them, then I'll be good. But then if I'm treating you more than, and you're treating me less than, I just can't.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I feel like I'm getting treated like less than, I start to back off. Or I put them in that other bucket.
Do you feel like you are hypersensitive to being treated less than? And the reason is because I believe that I am. I think that I'm hypersensitive to, wait a minute, I wouldn't do that to you emotionally, So as a guy, do you feel like you're more sensitive to being treated less than you feel like you're treating the other person?
I don't think that sensitive is the right word. I think that I'm more aware.
Aware, yeah.
Yeah, I am definitely more aware, because I know what I deserve and I know how I want to be treated. And I think that comes with respect. And I think within those first couple of dates, if you voice if I'm going to talk about me, not someone else, but I voice how I feel in regards to that. If that can be reciprocated, then, we could go either one of three ways. We can go this way, as in it is what it is. We can go straight, which is the friend route, or we could potentially go the dating route if that's the way that it goes. I'm cool with going either way. But when I say reciprocation, I mean energy. I mean, when it comes to texting, I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about just simply giving me, pouring into me as much as I'm pouring into you. If you can't do that, then I just can't. I see that. Like, I am someone who's very emotionally intelligent, and I can turn that part off and be like, okay, but I'd still hit.
So wait a minute. Hold on a second. If you're talking to a woman and she's showing you all the reciprocation and we're going back and forth, why would a guy back off after a couple of dates? I'm just curious. Because if I'm texting you, we're texting each other, it's being reciprocated. Why would you back off?
Well, yeah, that's to be
Right.
honest with you, that's never happened.
I'm speaking from experience because I'm curious. Like, why? Like, I don't understand. Like,
Okay, so if I'm being,
path, I'm texting you. Everything is good. Why were you like? Why were you?
So if you want me to be honest, the reason why that could have happened in your situation potentially, he met someone else that he wants to show a little bit of interest in, and now it's hard for him to do both. So while he's got this person's ear, he's chatting this person up, still kind of peppering in, here and there with you. And then if this falls off to the wayside, yeah, that too, Terry. that too. Then,
Because in my mind, I'm like, what happened? I don't understand. I don't understand, but that's good to know.
But then too, what I will say that to add on to what KP was saying is, and this can go for men and women, but I can speak from a man's perspective. And sometimes what you're doing is not having the impact that you think it is. And for instance, let's say, trying to think of a good example. Let's say we go out on a date and I take you out on a date and it's to a restaurant, decent restaurant, right? Let's say the tab is $80, right? Now, in my mind, I'm like, hey, I know you had a long day at work. I know you didn't want to cook when you got home. I took you out to a restaurant with the type of cuisine that I know that you like. We had a great meal, great conversation, blah, blah, blah. Everything was great that night. But another guy might be able to take it another step further, where instead of you having to drive home from work, he sent a Uber Black to your job to pick you up, and it took you to a way nicer restaurant with a better view and 5-star chefs and all of these things. And in his mind, he's thinking, I know you had a long day at work. I know you didn't want to cook when you got home. I wanted to do this for you so I could take some pressure off you at the end of the day. Now, both things being considered equal, in my mind, I'm like, I took you to dinner too. But in his mind, he's like, oh, I moved heaven and earth to do that for you. Right? So in both of the guys' minds, we both took you to dinner after a long day of work. It's how you perceive what it is that we're doing. And sometimes you might feel as a guy that I'm putting in a whole bunch of work with her. And in her mind, she might be like, you're not really putting in that much work because all the other dudes I know are doing the same thing. So it's really not that much. It might be a lot for you, but it's not a lot for me. And so when you say, well, after a couple of dates, everything was going great, why did he fall off? Because the dates might have been great for you. They may not have been great for him. Or they could have been good, not bad, good, but not great. And to KP's point, he may have met somebody else where in those 3 dates that y'all had, he had 1, maybe 2 dates with her that were awesome. And we don't know this guy, so obviously we don't know what was going on. But he could have had a date with somebody else that was like, now that was more impactful. So I think it's all about the impact that you have. And I think you see a lot of women now say, well, I want a guy that applies pressure. But if every dude is applying the same amount of pressure, you're still in the same situation, right? If a woman says, I don't want to date a guy who doesn't put in effort, who doesn't apply pressure, But if you're talking to 10 dudes and they're all applying the same amount of pressure, you're still in the same boat where you can't pick because they're all doing the same thing. If you're telling a guy, if you're saying, here's my standard, and a guy has to do this to be applying pressure, and 10 dudes say, okay, I'll do that. Because 90% of the time, guys will meet the standard that you set. Now you're back at square one because all of them did what you asked them to do. Well, now what's next? You know? Here we got a couple chats. My cousin Randy checking in. He said, and that person is most likely more aggressive with doing what he wants. Terry said, and people on both sides don't communicate respectfully, so they just disappear. Ghosting, that's the thing. Shy said, if you do, then you better find something quick. Clock is ticking. Trust me, you don't want to be changing diapers and going to parent-teacher conferences when you're 60. This is going back to her comment earlier where she said, KP, do you not want kids?
It's a he, by the way.
Oh, my apologies. My apologies.
No, I don't.
I mean, that's your preference. If you don't want kids, it's your preference, you know. So
I got a kid. He's 2 years old.
Randy said impact.
I got a kid. He's 2 years old. He's about 68.6 pounds.
Not the same.
Shit, tell that to my wallet.
As the father of an actual human child, not gonna be the same. Not gonna be the same.
Well, that's good. I don't want that either.
Is it because it's like a financial thing, or is it because you just don't want any kids?
I'm too selfish.
Randy said you definitely have to set yourself apart from the competition, which is true. But if Patricia has 10 dudes lined up and says, all right, you guys jockey for my affections.
For the love of Patricia or what?
For the love of Patricia. Like I said, you're going to end up back at square one because all the dudes are going to end up doing the same thing.
But how do you know that Patricia has 10 guys? How do you know that?
I mean, I feel like it's safe to go in assuming.
I think guys do that for the most part, right?
Assume that a girl's talking to other dudes.
Facts. She typically is.
Especially if you met her on a dating app, her inbox is on fire. If you met her on social media, her DMs are on fire. So I feel like to go in thinking you're the only dude that thinks she's attractive is crazy.
Yeah, it's naive.
But that doesn't mean you can't win. If she's entertaining you, you're in the game.
Right. There's something there. There's something there. Are you 6 feet tall?
Right. Are you 6 feet tall? Do you have a beard? How many tattoos you got?
Right.
Here comes Katie Diaz talking to her craziness.
Katie said that's not always the case. Terry said they all bring different things to the table. So depending on your package plan, you will determine your position. Depending on the package that you signed up for. Katie says, shut it down, sir.
I don't know what that means.
Randy said there was a reason that fathers gave their daughters away in marriage. They was able to weed the clowns out. Most women aren't good judges of character.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I do. I agree with that too. Yeah.
Katie said, "Don't come for me like that. Terry, go away. You're not single."
I mean, for the most part, we approach, situations emotionally. So, yeah.
But I think that's because, like I said, when we first started, I said women date based off potential. Where is this going to be in a year, 2 years, 3 years? Hillary in the chat, and Hillary was ready to marry a firefighter after talking to him for 8 hours.
Not even 8 hours.
Wow,
right?
Wow. I mean, was he good looking? I'm just saying.
Probably not. No, she said he was gorgeous.
Just not her specific type. Patricia, what's your type?
What is your type, Patricia? Yeah, let's hear this. Is she in Florida?
No, she in New York.
Yeah, I'm in New York.
Oh my God. I already know she's probably gonna say you gotta wear some Tim. You gotta wear some Tims.
Hell no. First of all,
you gotta be by the bodega. You gotta be by the bodega.
Never. First of all, never, ever. I like my man who dresses well, who's educated, who got his shit together. And who knows what he wants in life, I don't have a specific preference, it doesn't matter. It could be white, it could be Hispanic, as long as like we click, we talk, the conversation flows. When we hang out, it feels like organic, it feels no pressure,
What part of New York are you in? Like what part of New York are you from, my heart?
I'm in Yonkers.
Okay.
Westchester County.
Right. Yeah. Where the Locks from? Yonkers.
Yeah, no, he's in downtown Yonkers. I'm in uptown. I'm like in the
the nice part.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what ethnicity were your last 3 boyfriends?
My last boyfriend. My last relationship was my ex-husband.
Okay.
He was Dominican. Yeah.
What's your nationality?
Dominican and Italian.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
It's a good mix.
Felix said, mi gente.
Mi gente. Mi gente, mija.
What is your type? You asked me what's my type. What is your type?
Fat ass. No.
He said, I thought we covered that.
Right.
Always the physical.
No, seriously. As I get older, I mean, yeah, like the physicality is what draws me in initially, but honestly, for me, it's eyes and teeth. Eyes and teeth. So now I know that's physical, but the physical part is what brings the person in, regardless. Before they open up their mouth, you look at the physicality of that person. So I would say eyes and teeth. And then after I'm in the door, then after I'm in the door.
Felix, don't start.
And then after I'm in the door, then I would say, the ability to communicate is super important for me.
Okay, that's good.
But then she gotta have she gotta be working with something. she gotta be working with something. But no, those other things are more
all
important.
Guys think almost the same way, so it's fine.
Yeah, of course. I mean, no woman is gonna be like, see a guy and be like, yeah, I hope he has a big package.
No. You have strong arms? Okay, good.
So yeah, I mean, but I think the intangibles are super important.
Gary said emotional maturity and a fat ass.
I like your style, Gary. I like your style. I don't know depends on how fat, but I like more plump than fat, but I'll take it either way.
He said, "I'll take it either way."
Oh yeah, I agree with that too, Randy. I totally agree with that.
Most women are influenced by other women instead of understanding what men want.
Yeah.
Single women keep other women single.
All these girls are going off what's happening on Love Island, going back to their boyfriends and be like, why did you do this that Huda did? Or why did you do this that so and so did? Like, these girls are living in a fantasy world out here, man. They go to these bars, they watch this show, and these girls on this island are getting played like in real life. I mean, and they're fantasizing like how they're talking about like how they would do this and how would do that, they would do that. When in reality, they're getting played in their real life. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Delulu at its finest. Most women are so delusional. I mean, believe it or not, I know that no one wants to say it, but most women are delusional.
Katie said most grown women have minds of their own. I said most. I don't even know what Love Island's about. I've seen a lot of people posting about it. A girl from Florida got kicked off the show.
Yeah, girl from I thought she was from Arizona.
I thought she was from Miami for her tweets from the past.
Yeah.
Some stuff.
Maybe she went to U of A, but I thought she was from Arizona.
I probably watched that show every month.
No, I've never watched it either, to be honest with you. But I mean, I see the stuff on social media.
Right, I know the pop culture, right?
And here they have like bars that are filming it. They have like watch parties at like the hottest bars on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and this place is littered with females. I mean, littered in Old Town with females.
Watching it on the TVs.
Watching it on the TVs at the bars. There's at least 3 or 4 bars that I've seen that were just packed in like more packed than a Saturday or Sunday night. It's crazy.
Randy said most women are influenced by other women. I said what I said.
Most women, most.
So if you like a guy and you show this guy to your girlfriends in your group chat, which I'm sure you have one. Okay, she didn't say no. Okay, we working with something.
We'll take that as a yes.
Yeah. So if you show this man to your friends, and they're like, "Nah, girl, he's not it," or "He's this, he's that," that's not going to seep into your mind just a little bit over time.
No.
So then when things go wrong, and they're like, "Girl, you got to do this. Girl, you got to do that." You're telling me that in your illustrious dating history, your girlfriends have never told you when you went to them crying and you told them that this man did this to you or said this to you, you've never been influenced by something that they've said?
I mean, of course, my one friend would be like, "Oh no, you gotta cut him off. That's it. He's not it. How dare he?" So.
And did you do it in some instances?
No.
She said no. Yes.
I mean, I'm going to agree with her. Like, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I have to figure this out myself. So.
The Shy said, "Daddy issues can really be a problem. I hate to say it, but I think most girls that just don't know how to love her man, more than likely she wasn't raised with one."
I don't agree with that because I did not have a father growing up. Although my older brother, I saw him kind of like a father figure, but like my dad, he was never around, and I have a lot of love to give to the right man, a lot. So I'm very affectionate. If I'm with someone and I really like that person, I can be a little extra with just being physical, and affectionate.
Yeah, you from New York. You probably be trying to fight and shit.
Fight?
I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
You got jokes today. I see you got jokes. Okay.
Randy said, is there any man in your life that you would take advice from and act on it, meaning getting better and not taking it personally?
I mean, listen. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, if it's gonna benefit me, yeah, why not? You know.
And not second guess it. He say, Mija, you need to do this today.
Like a whole list, maybe like one or two things, you know, that's okay. Like, all right, fine. You know, maybe you're right. You're right. I'm a very understanding person. You know, if you tell me, all right, you did this, you said this, it wasn't right, then you know what? I'm gonna self-reflect and I'm like, you know what? Maybe you're right. You're absolutely right. I'm gonna take your advice on this. I won't do it again, or I won't say it again. Whatever it is, you know. So I'm not combative like that, you know. So
Hillary said, I agree wholeheartedly. Or a crappy dad like mine, I'm an obvious product. Hillary is a stand-up comedian. Can't take nothing serious. Let's see.
Yeah, Hillary. I'm glad to see you're in here. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I can't wait.
She said she got another part for us.
Oh my God! No, I can't wait. I can't wait. It looks like Keinon's gonna be right again. Oh man, that's crazy. I love being right. Sometimes it's a necessary evil, you know. Sometimes like women will ask you for advice and then they don't take it. Yeah, see, Hillary, I'm just telling you, listen to me. Listen to me, boo-boo. Stick with me.
I mean, men are logical, so.
Shai said he's not trying to blanket that statement on women.
You said men are more logical?
Yeah, men are logical creatures. Like, they're more logical than women. So if you have an advice and, you know, maybe I see it different, I'm gonna think about that. I'm gonna think about what you just told me, you know.
Yeah. But some women see that as like I've had girlfriends who ask me for advice and I give them advice, but then when I give them the raw and uncut truth, granted, you could say there's a way of going about saying things, excuse me, and there's sometimes that I do, but for some situations I give them, you know, the tough love like that it is. And they either think that it's mean, or then when it ends up coming true, they're like, damn.
Give an example. I'd like to know.
Oh, man. Where do I start?
One is fine.
Katie said, I'm not taking advice from anyone who wears glasses inside.
Hey, Katie, trust me. You definitely want to take advice from me. Trust me. Trust me. Listen to your boy. I will get you where you need to be.
I'm listening.
What do you mean as far as okay, so like if, for instance, when you asked that question earlier about if a guy, well, you shouldn't pass, boo-boo. Trust me. I know what I'm talking about. When you asked that question about if a dude is talking to you right away a lot, and then all of a sudden he stops talking to you, like I told you, he's probably talking to another girl, a girlfriend. Even if it's your girl, like your ride or die girl, she won't believe that this dude could be potentially talking to another girl, when more than likely that's probably something that guy friend has done in his dating history, and that's something that most dudes do, especially if said person is dealing with a certain type of dude. And so some women be like, "Oh, okay, no, he's not messing with any other girls." And next thing you know, a few weeks later, "Hey, what happened to so and so?" We stopped talking. Why? He was messing with somebody else. I told you that like 3 weeks ago. So like, there's plenty of examples that I'm like, yeah.
All right, we're hard-headed sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time. All right.
You're right, Hillary. Delulu. All women are delusional. In my opinion, all women are delusional. They are. It's crazy. If you have a dude you like, and if he doesn't text you back right away, you think he's fucking some other girls. Like that's delusional.
That's too much. That is too much.
It's delusional.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that. I have a life.
So, but no, I mean, it's hard out here. I mean, if you're single, like, it's hard. It's hard out here.
It is.
And I'm sure in New York, where there's like fucking 3 million people, I can only imagine, like, and you got a melting pot of people. Thank you, Felix. I know, right?
Said what, Felix? Wait.
Felix said, "Guys like me and KP are the best at giving advice to females."
No. You know what? He's right though.
They're raw.
He gives good advice. Because I'd be like texting him like, "Yo, Felix, I'm confused." Hey,
yeah,
I like that. Now you my boy, Felix.
I just be knowing.
we just know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I've missed, but 9 times out of 10, I'm hitting. I'm right. 9 times out of 10.
But it is tough. Dating, it's really tough. I need to put myself more out there and meet more people because it's been difficult. So,
are you on apps or
no dating apps, nothing.
So
how are you meeting?
You going the organic route?
For the most part, it's been organic outside. My friends have introduced me to their, people that they know. Sporadically, like Facebook, not Facebook dating, but like regular Facebook. Sporadically, but I'm done with that. Let me tell you something.
That's the app.
It is an app, but here, listen.
Hey, I sorry to interrupt you, Patricia, but I didn't know. Per last week, me personally, I think Facebooks are for aunties and uncles and aunties. I didn't know Facebook was cracking like y'all be talking about. Like,
I have friends.
Facebook Facebook was Bumble before Bumble was Bumble.
Right.
Felix, you're funny.
What else is he saying? Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah, he heard my stories.
What was the last date you went on? Tell us about the last date you went on.
Yeah, please.
My last date. All right. It was we went bowling. Yeah, we went bowling. It was fun. Yeah.
What
was that the first one?
No.
Was this a 3-day and fade away?
No, this was a couple of months. Yeah.
See, she's already in 2 months. So this per her schedule, you guys should be dating right now.
Right. So, you said you told us 6 to 8.
See? You see how they be capping on here, Felix? They be talking. See, when I say my stuff is Keinon is this, Keinon is that.
Hold on, it's more than a couple. I would say more than a couple of months. I would say 4 months, right? 4 months.
So why isn't he your man? That's the whole point.
I don't know. I don't think he wants a relationship. I do not know. I mean, I'm not here to force anyone to be with me. Like, I'm not, right? But if we've been seeing each other consistently, like twice a week, I mean, listen. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's the guy's choice. That's it. It's not my choice.
I feel like twice a week is not a lot, though. That leaves room for infiltrators.
Yep.
No, you're right. You're right. I feel like
Monday. That's Monday and Friday.
For sure. You see what Hillary said? Yeah.
I think 3 times is good. 3 times a week is good. So.
The Lulu, you see? And she was talking about me talking about 6 months. She's been dealing with Buddy for over 4 months. So that's crazy. Like
wait a minute. I'm not saying that I'm expecting a relationship. What I want is I like certainty. Like I want to know if this is moving towards a relationship because I don't want to waste my time.
Are we progressing?
Right. If you tell me if we already established we want the same things, then okay, that's fine, but don't be playing these little games and stuff. Like
okay, so I got a question that's gonna
wait, hold on a second. Hillary said I've been married 3 times last month.
That's facts. No, she didn't set any expectations, Randy. Clearly. Okay, so wait. So we'll just say ballpark 4 or 5 months. You've been dealing with this person, right? Now I gotta ask.
Is it personal?
Yeah. What are we? We're on a podcast.
Go ahead.
Has he cracked? Has he cracked?
What do you mean, like cracked? What do you mean?
See,
gone to the promised land.
Oh, to the promised land.
See, I'm trying to be good for David because normally I would have said something more raunchier and been straight. Yeah. No. Did he smash?
No.
Wait.
He said wait.
No.
Wait. So you guys have been dealing with each other for 4+ months.
Wait a minute. Why do you have to smash before a relationship?
Oh no! So that's why y'all not in a relationship.
You just answered your own question.
That is that's all. Yeah. Next question. Thank you, Randy. Next question. You ain't let this man crack in 4 months. No wonder he ain't trying to progress.
Wait a minute. So wait. I'm just curious. So if you're talking to a woman and you guys have 4 months, so basically, I don't know. I'm just curious. So you have sex before you jump into a relationship.
It's not going to get to 4 months.
No. It ain't getting to a month if I'm not cracking. It's not. We're hanging out. We've hung out 6 times.
No,
2 times a week.
That's 8. We've hung out 8 times and no progression.
And I'm not cracking.
Progression.
No.
Wow. You know what? Times have changed.
That's true.
Times have changed. Yeah.
Okay, so either
now it's like you guys expect it within 3 months, even if you're not in a relationship. But yet, hold on a second. Guys are very judgmental, right? So in my mind, if we have sex, you're already probably thinking I'm doing it with a bunch of other dudes. Am I right? So me thinking that now it makes sense why we're not in a relationship. That's just me thinking.
No.
Guys are judgmental. That's how they are.
It depends. It depends because in that
he knows.
Randy said, "Need to see how many miles on that joint." Because in that month, right? Granted, we've gone out 8 times, twice a week. We've gone out 8 times in this month, but we talking every day. Most of the day, we're having adult conversations at some point during this month. So it's more about what I'm asking you and what we're talking about during those adult conversations versus you being like, hey, I had a great time. This is date number 5. I'm not ready for the date to end. You want to come up for a little bit? I'm not gonna judge you on that more than I'm gonna judge you on the conversations we're having. If I'm saying like, hey, so like, what are you into? And you're like, oh man, I've been to a couple of Diddy parties, blah, blah, blah. I'm gonna be like, whoa, like that's something different, so the conversations are gonna have more weight than the act to me. KP might feel differently, but the conversations are gonna have a little bit more weight because I can dig deeper. I could dig deeper during the conversations than I can during the act. I'm not going to know what you were doing the prior month before we start kicking it during the act. But if I'm asking you questions and you're being honest, I'm going to learn a lot more about you, and I'm going to judge you a lot more off those responses than it happening in the first 30 days.
I guess it all depends on the man then. It really does.
So
because what if after 3-4 months we are having sex and then we continue to have sex after a couple of months and then it never turns into a relationship? Then what?
It is what it is.
No.
What happened? Okay, so then what happens?
No.
What happens if you go 6 months and 7 months without having sex, and you?
Is he gonna wait for me? Is he gonna wait for
me?
Right? Because I want. Yeah.
So here's the potential one of 3 ways of how this could go. This is a simple, and this is coming from a man's POV. One way, he's gonna wait. That's the way that you want, right? Another way, he's gonna deuce. After 4 months, I don't know too many dudes that are waiting that long. But okay, let's say he waited. He's gonna deuce at some point. 3, he's gonna continue to entertain you because he likes you, he enjoys spending time with you, but he's going to get his rocks off on the other side with someone else in the meantime until this person could mean nothing to him, but he's gotta get release. So he'll be doing this on the side while you think he's waiting for you.
Interesting. Do all guys do that? I'm just curious.
I mean, I ain't waiting no 4 months.
Go online. I want to know. Do all guys do? Felix, do all guys do that?
Look what he said. Look what him and Randy said.
Okay, you know what? That's good to know. That is good to know. But then what happens to me? What if I want to be in a relationship with you, right? And then we're having sex, and then 6 months later, like I'm gonna be hurt. I'm gonna start having, feelings for this person. Especially.
Okay, so what happens after? Okay, you wait 6 to 7 months. You guys have sex. Everything goes good until the 9th month.
Okay.
You guys break up. You're still gonna be hurt.
You mean break up? Okay, so you're saying like being in a relationship and then breaking up after 9 months. That's negative thinking. I'm gonna make sure like it works. Like, it works out.
Like, what if he doesn't want it to work out? What if he doesn't?
It could happen. I get your point. But I'm not thinking that.
So what you're saying is that after
exactly,
7 months and we do, we locked in.
Pretty much. Because if I'm doing
locked in and
that's it.
Okay, so let me ask you this: are you doing anything within this 6 months? Like, are you titty fucking? Are you hand jobbing? Are you something? Nothing for 7 months. There's no way. No dude is waiting that long. Unless he's more.
Not even 7 months.
Something.
It's only been a few months. That's it.
I ain't waiting 4 months either.
Well, as long as I know it's going somewhere, then yeah, maybe.
Man, you got to do some mouth hugs or something. We gotta just you gotta be giving me some mouth hugs or something, because I'm not waiting 4 months to.
No, that's you. Maybe every guy is
That's
different.
every dude.
Randy said, "What if the sex is whack after 7 months?" So you wait 7 months. Y'all haven't done anything intimate. You wait 7 months. Y'all get down to it, and he is, we'll just say, ill-equipped. And you didn't know this because y'all haven't done anything intimate for 7 months. So here we are.
She's gonna be mad, but she's gonna be in love.
Tonight's the night.
You know what? You're funny. Probably. Probably.
Yeah,
Mad and in love.
that's crazy.
Listen, after a few months, I'm gonna catch some happy feelings, and then it's gonna be better when it happens. But I want to make sure it's going somewhere. Like, if I feel like I'm in this gray area where, like, I don't know where this shit is going, then I'm not gonna keep having sex with you.
And I get that. You want to make sure that it's worthwhile. You want to make sure that it's.
Why you laugh? Don't be laughing.
I love that feelings. Yeah, he's funny.
But what if pee is smelly or looks bad? Wow.
It's not that important to her, clearly.
Wow.
Randy said, "How important is sex then?"
I mean, it's important. It's important.
The pee. You ain't giving up the pee though.
That's when you connect with the other person. You feel more connected. You know.
Yeah, you feel more connected after.
But that's lower on your list.
No, it's not that low. It's up there.
But it's not like top 5.
I would say it's probably top 5. Yeah, probably number 5.
Maybe she's just not that into this dude, and that's why she hasn't given up the goodies yet.
Felix said, "I need the pee to be presentable."
Don't you like your pee?
That's crazy. 4 months, and he, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As you don't know what it is.
You're talking to a chick. You expect it within 2 months or within a month?
I don't expect it at any time, to be honest with you.
So then I
would hope. I don't expect. I would hope that within probably 2 to 3 weeks it happens. I would hope.
Yeah, for sure.
After you met someone, wow.
Yeah.
But that's just because I know how I am. Like, I'm not gonna. If it's been 3 weeks, I'm not gonna just see you 3 times.
So then basically, you're building a sexual relationship instead of emotional. Like, I'm looking for an emotional relationship.
But
sex is part of it, of course.
And we can play the emotional game too.
Oh my God.
See? That's what I'm saying. So that's right. So exactly. There's dudes who will camouflage that. And then when they crack and be like, man, this made me wait 7 months. See ya.
But what if you continue after 5 months?
Some dudes may wait until they crack and still have sex with somebody else on the side and still be emotionally connected to you until they crack. And then that could be it for them because you made them wait for that long.
But what if they don't crack and they continue talking? Like, you continue talking to the woman.
Because they're trying to get there. They want the whole picture.
Okay, got it.
I'm not saying they only just want that.
Right.
And there are guys out there who just want that.
Right.
But they want the entire picture with you, right? So if a guy's talking to you for months, he like you. Like, he like your vibe. Yep. Y'all hang out and y'all get along. We kicking it. We having a good time. We eat good, drink good, whatever. The only thing that's missing is that. Right?
Then, okay, so hold on a second. So when the sex already happens, then will that turn into a relationship? I'm just curious.
What?
I mean, everything is going to continue to progress in that direction. Yeah.
Okay.
But
got it. God.
Because now the whole picture is moving forward, right?
Okay, got it.
I personally believe, I'm sure KP probably believes this as well, is that intimacy is part of getting to know somebody. Now, that doesn't mean sex, doesn't have to always mean sex, but intimacy is part of getting to know somebody. And as you gradually and organically develop in your relationship, it's going to happen. Now, if somebody says, you know what, I'm not having sex in the first 30 days, and they set that expectation, then as the guy, you know, and you can make the decision as you need to, right? Oh, I need to have something over here. Do I really like her like that to wait? Or, you know, whatever it is that you need to do. But I would say if you met a woman and y'all been hanging out for months, you're not going to take time out of your schedule to hang out with somebody you don't like seeing. The sex at that point is just going to be icing on the cake because y'all are already enjoying each other's company and hanging out and everything like that. It's going to be icing on the cake. And to your point, Patricia, like you said, it's going to be even better because now y'all have built the foundation. But is that foundation going to be better after 3 or 4 weeks? Or if he waits 6 months, is he going to be as engaged as he was after 30 days? He probably going to be a little bit less engaged because
he'll stop planning. He'll stop, he'll stop taking me out. Correct? Probably.
Right. Because I'm sure, because I'm gonna assume in that 6 months he's tried, unless you told him don't even try because it's not going to happen, which he probably still would try. But if you say he tried a couple of times and I told him that it wasn't the right time and he respected that and blah blah blah. That's very different than you saying at the beginning, I'm not having sex for the first 3 or 4 months. And you set that expectation early. So it's all about conversations that you can have to let the other person know what you're thinking. But at the same time, I've always just seen it as part of getting to know somebody. And can you 100% guarantee that you're going to marry that person? No. You can't guarantee that. If you hang out with that person for an extended period of time and then y'all have sex, is it probably going to lead to a relationship? Probably. Unless there's something horribly wrong down there and y'all are not compatible in that way, which happens.
Man, all I know is
what do you know?
If you ain't playing no pocket pool with me for at least doing something, what are we doing?
What if you're talking to someone and after like a few weeks, he sets the expectation and said, listen, I'm going to wait until we get serious. Are you going to wait?
A few weeks? No, we got to have that conversation sooner than a few weeks.
Okay.
That's why I said if you're hanging out with somebody a couple times a week and you talk to this person all day, every day,
Right.
Y'all are having adult conversations before 3-4 weeks in. And it's not going to be a surprise if she's like, hey, just to let you know.
Now, if she lets me know that up front, then I have the right to choose whether or not I continue to engage in said person, right? And if I continue to engage and I'm not truthful with this person, then yes, I think that's on me because I could potentially hurt this person. Now, if I meet this person and we're talking every day, we are kissing, we are doing stuff, and then when things get hot and heavy, she pushed my hand away and she's not telling me why. And then all of a sudden we kind of make out again, we do stuff. and then she pushed my hand away, she won't tell me why, I'm going to be like, what's going on? And if then she tells me that she's waiting, I'm out of there. You're out. See ya. Because you just got me all hot and bothered these last couple times, and you're not, that's not even on your mind. Your mindset is to stop when it gets to a certain point. So if you're not communicative with that up front, then yeah, I think you deserved whatever happens. If you don't communicate that up front.
But I do notice that you said a little bit ago, you said, so you guys expect X, Y, and Z. Do you feel like you don't because of today's day and age, or do you feel like it's like more cultural for you?
I think it's more today's day and age. It's not cultural. Times have changed a lot. So now, I feel like when guys meet, girls or women, whatever, and I feel like they expect it right away. Like they don't give it time to develop into something that it could possibly, turn into a relationship. Like they don't, I don't know. I feel like from my experiences, it has been sort of like that, like.
Okay. So real quick, sorry to interrupt you, Patricia, but let me ask you this. So when you said that most people nowadays don't wait for things to develop, right?
Correct.
So why then, when I want to wait for things to develop, it's an issue, but it's not an issue for you, and you want things to develop when it comes to sex. I want things to develop to get to know this person, for this person to be my girlfriend. That's too long. That's an issue to wait for things to develop.
That's not an issue. If we are talking and we communicate that with each other, like, hey, this is the time that I need to, from my perspective, 6-7 months, it tells me whether this is going to turn into a relationship or not. And then I'll tell you, like, okay, and, from my perspective, 5 months is, at least good enough time to know, and then we kind of like, listen, we kind of understand.
But that sounds like him saying it's going to take 6, maybe 8 months for me to say you're my girlfriend. And you say, well, it's going to take 5, maybe 6 months for me to give you some.
No, but wait, what I'm trying to do is understand each other. Like, okay, now you understand where I come from, I understand where you come from. Let's work this out. Let's see where it goes. And that's it. No pressure. That's it. As long as we communicate and we good. That's it.
Randy said, curious to know what's the timeline on making a decision, yay or nay. Is that about like being in a relationship, or she knows like this is I know I'm going to give him some because it's been X amount of time?
I mean, if it's sex, if it feels right, I'm going to do it. If I like him a lot, I'm going to do it. If I feel like I know he likes me too, and he's been consistent and we've been talking for a while, for a few months, yeah, I'm going to do it.
So first dates never happen?
No.
Are you saying it hasn't happened or that it will never happen?
No, I'm not saying it never will happen. It will happen.
Oh, so a first date hookup could happen.
Not with me. Not with me. I will not.
So you don't think that there's something that you could see in a guy in a week? Y'all talk. I'm sure y'all talk for a week. At the end of the week, y'all go out on a date, and at the end of the day, you're like, man, this is my soulmate. This dude, this is the guy. You don't think that can happen?
Fast. That is way too fast for me. Way too fast. No. I need time. I need to see if I can develop some feelings for you. I need to see if we get along. It takes me a while to develop feelings for someone. It does. It not within a month. I would say probably close to 3 months.
To develop feelings?
Develop feelings for someone, yes. Yes.
Like strong feelings, like I like him. I can't wait to see him again.
Yes. Like if I
3 months.
now, like I want to see you, I like him a lot. Yes. About 3 months, yeah. So.
Yeah, we established that for sure.
I take my time. That's it. I'm not gonna like someone real quickly and then he turns out to be a damn toxic or narcissist or whatever it is. You know, I take my time. That's all.
It could still turn out to be that way.
It takes 7 months to date and get into a relationship. I take my time to like someone. That's it.
So let me ask you this question. So let's say
I didn't say that though.
You said that. Stop it. Felix on my back. Listen, you said that.
I didn't say that.
So let me ask you this question. Let's say we're in a room, right? And there's 2 doors. Door number 1, door number 2 in the room. And we stand in the room and I say, all right, there's a guy. Okay. Behind door number 1, you can be intimate with him within 30 days and it ends at 6 months. Your relationship ends at 6 months, but you could be intimate with him within 30 days. Behind door number 2 is you wait 4 months and it ends in 6 months. So behind door number 1, it ends in 6 months, or you can be intimate within a month. Door number 2, it ends in 6 months, or you could be intimate after 4 months. Which one would you pick?
I don't like the ending. I don't like the ending. I want it to last for a while. All right, if I have to choose, I would say door number 1.
Is that the 4 months?
No, that's the 1 month.
Oh, okay.
So basically, so you could see what you need to see from someone in 30 days for you to be like, you know what? I'm going to take a chance and see what happens. That's possible. It's not impossible. It's possible.
It is possible. I mean, a month is a good amount of time to kind of like gauge.
That's 8 dates. That's 8 dates.
Right.
That's eight dates.
Okay.
Twice a week. Monday and Thursday.
I mean, if the chemistry is fire, yeah, of course. We're gonna see each other twice a week. But if it's not fire, then once a week is good for me.
She got a padlock on that thing, boy.
Chastity belt on it.
Damn. You got a padlock. You got a padlock on that thing, girl. Did you got a keypad on there or what? Shit.
Geneva said that's not counting phone dates.
Oh my God. Don't get Jordan started.
Bring Jordan back in the chat. That's not counting phone dates. We went from 8 actual dates to probably 14 dates. Let that man see what it's like. All right. We just crossed over 2 hours, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. Patricia, it was a pleasure having you on with us today. What parting words do you have for the crowd, for everybody who watched and participated today?
I hope everyone, enjoyed the conversation. I hope you all learned something, about the conversation. And yeah, it was interesting, So yeah, it was fun. I hope you all had a good time listening.
Oh, we always have a great time.
Well,
Always have a great time.
my first time here, so the conversation was good. We went over 2 hours. That means we did something good.
That means it flowed. Because we had some episodes that we was pushing 50 minutes. We're like, all right, let's wrap. But when you hit over 2 hours, that means it flowed and it was easy and organic. So
Yes.
we appreciate it.
The way relationships should flow.
Oh, here we go.
All right.
If we could stretch it out to 6 months, maybe.
Thank you.
KP, what you got for us?
Patricia, this was great. I appreciate you for hopping on tonight. Hopefully you will hop on again. And Felix said thank you for not flaking. So we appreciate you for not flaking as well.
Listen, it's fine.
You did a good job. I thought you did a really good job. So I appreciate you for hopping on. Thank you so much. I know it's late over there. I'm 3 hours behind you. So I hope to see you on here again. Otherwise, for those of you, Shy, appreciate you. Carolyn, aka the First Lady, appreciate you. Soho, appreciate you. Was it Robert, Gary, whoever you guys are? Appreciate you guys for hopping on and talking in the chat. Thank you so much. Hopefully we can get this kind of interaction every single week. And subscribe, and follow me on Instagram if you can. Follow your boy. And over to you.
Well, I just want to say, Patricia, it was definitely our pleasure. Thank you for taking the time to come hang out with us. You could have been. There's a lot of stuff to do in Yonkers. But you hung out with us tonight, so we definitely appreciate you.
Appreciate you, my heart.
KP, as always, appreciate you for taking the time and engaging and making it fun, keeping it lively as well, sir. Follow him on IG, Mr. Perkins to you. Everybody who was in the chat today, make sure you tell your friends, subscribe, share. You never know who we're going to have on the next week as a guest. I know. KP going to know. But you never know who we're going to have on as a guest next week. So definitely make sure you tell your friends to subscribe, share. Shout out to Felix, Geneva for sure. Randy, Cuzzo, I appreciate you hopping in. Jay, my sister-in-law, for hopping in. We appreciate you as well. Going back down, who we got? Shy. Yeah, Hillary stopping in. Hillary she said she got another story for us. Can't wait for that. We got Katie, Carolyn, everybody who hopped in today. JoJo, even though you've been busy catching flights. Kadriana, as always, one of the foundations of the show. We appreciate you. But until next time, everybody stay safe. Like I said, remember, subscribe, share. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on Spotify Podcasts. We are on iHeartRadio. Last week, we just cracked the top 100 for relationship podcasts. So don't hesitate. Subscribe, share the links with your friends. Tell everybody you know. We're trying to blow it up. But until next week, we'll see you guys later. Peace.